Welcome to Pilates. We're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you all so much for joining. And, listen to your body. All right. If you got the COVID shot today, listen to your body. If there's anything else going on, listen to your body. Take breaks anytime. All right. Let's start with our breathing. Taking a deep breath in through your nose and exhaling out through your mouth, through pursed lips. Like you're the worst whistler in the world. I'm trying to sit as tall as possible, lengthening through the top of my head. Still keeping my shoulders down and relaxed. Take one more breath in and exhale, roll it on down. Slowly, using your abdominals. So we're just going to do a warm up here. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out to the mouth. Continuing that breathing pattern nice and slow. Inhale and exhale. Oh, I'm just going to turn on some extra lights. Keep breathing. Wow, that made a huge difference. All right, so we're going to imprint that lower back. So if it's not already pressed down into the mat, on the exhale, gently take that lower back into the mat, feeling your pelvis shift backwards, tailbone off the ground. Inhale into your neutral, tailbone on the ground. Exhale, imprint. A couple more times, just slowly shift in and out of your neutral and imprint. And then exhale here, imprint. And lift the legs to tabletop one at a time, maintaining that imprint. Now exhale to lower one leg, tap the toe. Inhale, return. The knees will stay bent at 90 degrees. Try your best to just relax your neck, shoulder area. Try to keep all the work right in the abdominals. Your quads are going to feel it. Your hip flexors are going to feel it. If you need to press into the floor a little bit to activate those triceps and help with the imprints, feel free to do that. You can look at the ceiling. Don't feel that you need to keep your eyes on me the whole time where you're turning your head. The other thing you could do is maybe have your device close by your feet. Exhale to lower, maintaining imprint. Inhale to lift. Last time here, and then try both legs lowering. Don't feel obligated to take it all the way down to the ground. Exhale. Inhale. Good, couple more. Then go ahead and lower the feet all the way to the mat, feet hip distance apart. Inhale, and then exhale, lift the head, neck, and shoulders, eye gaze on your knees. Actively reach for the toes. Inhale, hold, and exhale, release. Inhale at the bottom, exhale, curl up. Inhale, exhale. Feel free to go at your own pace. You never have to go as fast or as slow as I'm going. Ideally, you want to breathe in and out and then coordinate movement with that. Okay. All right. Now we're going to go into hundreds from here. So from here, you can keep your legs on the ground, legs at tabletop, legs together straight, legs together straight and on the diagonal. So inhale, breath. Exhale, crunch up. Pick your leg position. I'm going to pump those arms 100 times. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 10. Inhale. And exhale. 20. Inhale. Eye gaze on your knees. Exhale. 30. Doesn't matter what leg position you're in, you're looking at your knees. 40. Inhale. Exhale. 50. Use your abs to try to pull your shoulder blade off the mat as high as you can. Inhale and exhale. 70. Keep reaching with those fingertips. Exhale. 80. Inhale. Exhale. 90. Inhale and exhale. 100. Good. Slowly come out of the hundreds with control. And then we're going to come onto our stomach to warm up our spine muscles. With the forearms on the ground, hands near the shoulders, elbows down by the rib cage. We inhale, keeping the chin nice and tucked. Head and neck aligned with the spine. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Tops of the feet will stay on the mats. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale. We're just going to lift the top of the rib cage off the mat, gentle pressure into the forearms. Good. If you want, you can try without the arm assistance. So reaching the fingertips toward the toes. You can feel the shoulder blades squeeze together as you lift. So the movement of the arms reaching slightly up and to the back helps with lifting the upper body off the mats, as well as opening up that chest. Last two. And last one. All right, sit back. Feel a stretch in your spine. All right, we're going to be in a seated position. I prefer just being in the front half of my mat so that I don't really have to move again. I can just roll down later. Here's our half roll back. I always like starting with this movement because it kind of preps us from neutral to flex spine. And you can really feel the abdominal activation as you start to lean back with that flexion. Shoulders stay down away from the ears. Okay, I'm going to add some rotation. So the pelvis will stay stuck as the rib cage rotates. Pull the other elbow back. And it's just one elbow. I'm not bringing the other arm across the midline of the body. So I'm not bringing the arm across here. It's like you're pulling a bow and arrow. So you should feel movement of your shoulder blades. Come to as neutral as you can. Exhale, pull, elbow. Good. Anchoring those toes to the ground. One more time with the second arm. And if you want, I'm going to do two more, but with both arms pulling back. So there's no rotation, but really just feeling the weight of the arms and how it affects the abs. So there's no rotation, but I'm pulling my elbows back. You should feel a lot in the abs there. We're going to roll it down. One vertebra at a time, nice and slowly. All right, you can keep your knees slightly bent for the full roll up if you like. So I'm going to demonstrate that first. Inhale, arms reach up, nod the chin, exhale, reach. You feel like you're getting stuck a little bit, you can grab behind the leg, the hamstring, and help yourself up. And you can, again, keep your knees bent. This doesn't prevent you from feeling the roll up. And then the straight leg version, I prefer flexing my feet. You can also point. I just prefer flexing. And I'm engaging my quads. So inhale, arms, head, shoulders, exhale. So this is a nice stretch for the hamstring. If you are doing your bent knee version, you can straighten it here. And then you can bend it again once we roll down. All right. So you can bend here, inhale, reach, roll up, exhale, straighten those legs, and stretch. So the stretch is again in the hamstrings, the little calves, the upper and lower back. Because we are flexing the spine, you should feel separation of the shoulder blade. Inhale, exhale. Feel free to experiment with your arm position to challenge your abs. Meaning if your arms are high, as you roll down, you'll feel a little bit more abdominal work. Okay, maybe not a little, maybe a lot more abdominal work. And of course, you can keep your arms right here as you roll down. That's kind of the nice thing about Pilates is you can maneuver your arm position, your limb positions, not just your arm, but also your legs. And that creates different challenges for your abs. All right, let's finish up with one more. Then you can adjust your pants. I can already feel my pants are slipping down my hands because of the stickiness of the yoga mats. So now we're down here. All right, hug those knees in. We're going to do our abdominal series. Head, neck, and shoulder blades come up, but at any point, please feel free to lower them if your neck gets fatigued. So I'm going to stretch one leg out. I'm going to gently pull the other knee in, and I'm imprinted. Inhale, switch, exhale, reach. My toes are pointed here, but you can always flex the foots. All right, feel free to try either or both options. Inhale to switch, exhale, stretch a leg out. This is called single leg stretch because you're really lengthening it. Now to sort of change up the challenge of the abs, instead of hugging the knee in, I'm actually going to push my thigh away. So as it starts to come in, I'm going to push. My knee is trying to pull this way, and I'm going to push out. What that does is it creates a little more challenge to the abs. You can decide at what angle you want to press or straighten your leg out, right? So you can stretch it high. And then you can also decide how much you want to push and create this isometric contraction. Kind of like arm wrestling, when two forces are pushing each other, and it's pretty equal so that there's no movement. So you can't tell that there's a lot of back and forth because it's just equal pressure. All right, we've done enough of that. Hands behind the head, and we add rotation. Now, if you pull your knee all the way in, it's going to be a little easier because the weight of your leg comes over your abs. So if you want more challenge, you can stop your thigh when it's vertical. Stop your knee when it's over the hips. That's independent of what your upper body is doing, which is rotation. Lift one shoulder blade a little higher than the other. Try to keep both shoulder blades off the floor. Inhale through midline, exhale, twist. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Again, just different maneuvering of your limbs will create different challenges for your abs. I can pull my knee all the way in. I don't have to stretch my leg low. I can stretch it high. All right, so this feels very different compared to this. All right, let's finish two more. So double leg stretch. Again, we can have different angles. If you're very vertical with your limbs as your legs straighten, they're squeezing together. And as your arms straighten, and if that's not challenging enough for you, you can go further away from the mid points. And if your head, neck, and shoulders are up, again, you'll feel a little bit more ab work. So inhale, exhale, reach. Inhale, come together, legs to tabletop, exhale, reach. If you come all the way in, definitely a little more ab rest. Go all the way out, a lot of ab work. But if you just come into tabletop, your abs get less rest. So some tension here, more tension. If I come all the way in, less tension, very little tension, almost relaxation. All right? So find what's challenging but doable for you. Exhale, reach. Inhale, last time, reach. Good, it's time for scissors. Again, I'm gonna keep my toes pointed today, but you can flex. This is about a hamstring stretch. I'm gonna give you a variation of scissors today. All right, notice I'm holding my leg. I'm actually gonna bring the other leg up, and then I'm gonna lower the other one. So I'm only gonna lower and lift one at a time. Good, I'm gonna hold this leg still. I'm not gripping it, I'm not yanking it. Just gonna hold it still, lower and lift. If your neck is tired, put it down, lower, not all the way to the floor, and lift. Keep those abs imprinted, lower, lift. If you want a little more challenge, you can let the leg go. Because sometimes when we hold on to the leg, it kind of helps our abs, right? It's like we're supporting our abs. So without holding the leg, whether our head, neck, and shoulder blades are up or down, it's just more work when we are not holding onto the leg. All right, let's do one more of each. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Last time, inhale, lower, exhale, lift. So that's just a variation of scissors. And then we're gonna do one more exercise today. Just a little bonus exercise, double leg lowering, which again, feel free to bend your knees. But this is what we did in the warm-up. Notice the motion at the hip joint. It's the same motion, except my leg is straight. So you can come to about 45 degrees and back to 90. Your thighs go to 45 degrees. By now, your toes would have hit the floor, and then you're back to 90. Head, neck, and shoulders up. Exhale to lower, inhale to lift. As long as you're breathing, it doesn't matter whether you're inhaling or exhaling to lower, inhaling or exhaling to lift. Here, the reason why we exhale is to reinforce the imprint as we lower. But I understand why you want to exhale as you lift, because it's more exertion. Let's do one more. All right. Whew. Hopefully you felt that in the abs, because that was called the ab series. And the ab series is meant to challenge the abs. Oh. All right. Sometimes when I'm talking to you a lot, I just end up doing a lot of reps. So you're welcome. I know you want to thank me for that. Just kidding. All right, we're gonna be lifting our legs. Oh, but not like that. We want to keep our legs straight. All right, so I'm gonna bring the arms forward. I'm gonna circle the arms to the back, getting range of motion in the shoulders. And then when my fingertips start to reach to the back, I lift my legs, squeeze my glutes, lift the chest, but chin stays tucked. Exhale, arms trace the body, reach forward. Inhale, start to circle back and lift. Exhale, lower everything, including the chest. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And by the way, you don't have to lift the legs. And last one here. This is all about our posture muscles, the muscles along our spine. This helps us not slouch. This helps us strengthen the muscles that would prevent us from slouching. All right, it's time to do a plank. So we're still facing the floor. So let's come onto our elbows underneath the shoulders. I tuck the toes under, reach one leg straight, and then the other. And maybe my butt's a little high to start, but I'm gonna ask myself if I feel it in my abs. And if I don't, I'm gonna lower my butt to about shoulder height. Usually right about there is when you really feel your abdominals. Continue to squeeze your abs, your glutes, and your quadriceps. If you're not looking at your thumbs, go ahead and look at it. You definitely don't want to be looking down at your toes because it means your head is no longer aligned with your spine. Inhale through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. 2 more breaths. Finding stillness, strength, stability. That's the challenge here. Isometrics. One more breath in and out. All right. Good. Keeping in mind that straight, strong position, we're going to do what I call a vertical plank, but it's not super vertical. If you need to give extra cushion to your knees, you can just hold your mat up like that. And I do encourage you to have your toes pointed here instead of tucked under. Reach your arms forward. So this is our neutral, our straight line. And we're going to stay in a straight line from the knees through the ears, through the head. Okay? I'll keep my arms parallel as I hinge back at the knees. So notice what I didn't do, which is arch the hips or arch the back, push the hip forward. And I also didn't drop the butt, which is hip flexion. So neutral. Stare straight ahead, right over your fingernails. Hinge back. You're going to feel this in your quads, yes. But you should also feel it in your butt and your abs. Because all these muscles around your pelvis and your spine, which are called core muscles, they're all being activated in this one move right here. All right. Exhale. Lean back. Inhale. You decide how far back you want to go. There is no set angle. The limitations is when your body starts to shift out of neutral. So if I start to go too far back and I do that, say I pop my hips, I've gone too far back. So maintain neutral and then find your greatest range of motion in neutral. Last one here. Good. So those are all the same muscles that you were activating while you were in your plank. Okay, let's go back onto our back. With the feet hip distance apart. We're going to go into our shoulder bridge. Oh, I just realized I didn't do this in the warm-up. I usually do. Totally forgot. Jeez, what's going on with me? I bet Nancy and Henry were like, well, why did she skip the... All right, anyways. When you do the hip bridge, all right, these are your hips, and this is, I guess, a bridge. You don't want your feet too far like this, all right? So you kind of want it, I don't know, about, 6 inches. And then your feet are hip distance apart, so not too wide. And then from there, you should hopefully be able to push those hips up, squeeze the glutes up, draw the abs down, and come to, once again, that neutral from shoulder through the knees, okay? If you feel any strain in the lower back, then don't push as hard. Now it's time to do only one leg at a time. So when you lift with both legs, you'll see your hips have a right and a left hip. They should come up to the same height. So when I take away a leg, so this is the front leg, as I push through the back leg, both the right hip and left hip should come up to the same height again. All right, that's our main goal. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. I currently have my front leg in tabletop, so the knee is over the hip. I'm going to do 4 like this, so 2 more. And then if you would like to keep your knee bent as is, continue. But my next 4, I'm going to straighten my leg. Exhale, reach, inhale, bend. So unilaterally working, that one leg, that one butt muscle is doing all the work for both sides. I said 4, right? That was 4. Let's do 2 more for bonus, and that will be 10 total. Okay. That time I was counting, and I knew I counted wrong, intentionally. Usually I count wrong unintentionally. All right, so we have the back leg lifted now. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Just coming to neutral. It's not about pushing as high as you can. Because if you push as high as you can probably push into a slightly arched position. And that's not what this is about. All right, so that was 4. Feel free to keep your knees bent. We're going to do 6 more. I'm going to extend the leg, really activating the quadriceps, feeling a hamstring stretch. And now 4 more. Make sure you're breathing. Inhale here. Exhale, lift. Last one. Good. All right, we're going to come to our side. I'm going to have you prop up a little bit on your elbows. And we're going to do side leg lifts. If this doesn't feel comfortable, what this does is, by the way, when you're on your elbow, you don't want to be sunken into your shoulder. There's actually a lift here. But if this doesn't feel comfortable, you can do so this is the more traditional version of the sideline leg lifts. This is just a variation, a little bit more challenging. So we're focusing on the top leg. So it's actually, this is a little awkward when you're propped up, but you can do it this way. I usually just bend the bottom leg a little bit. The focus is on the top leg. I'm going to flex the foot and notice that it stays parallel to the floor. And my kneecaps and toes are pointed right at you, which means it's in neutral. If my toes are up, that means I'm externally rotated. And right now we're not doing external rotation. Now it's really easy to forget about your shoulders. So we really want to push up and engage through the obliques and the shoulders. Good. So when you're propped up like this, it is a little more challenging to do the leg lifts. Again, this is just a variation. Feel free to lie all the way down with your bicep under your ears. Not ears, just ear. Good. If you can make sure that your kneecaps and all 5 toenails stay in neutral, you can point. See, you can't see my pinky toe anymore, right? That means I'm externally rotated. So you want to be able to see your pinky toe, making small circles. Breathing constantly. Reverse for 6. 5. My leg is pretty parallel. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Swing forward and back. There's no set distance that you have to cover. The restriction is that your body doesn't move. This leg is moving within the hip socket joint. So if I kick back and it causes my body to shift forward, or if I kick so far forward it causes me to pike, I've done too much range of motion. So limit your range of motion and keep everything still. Stay lifted through the shoulder. And you should be feeling your outer thigh working because your leg has basically been kind of floating around hip height this entire time. Do 2 more. And last. All right, we're going to switch sides. We're not doing as much because it is a more challenging position when your upper body is elevated. And I know I didn't really demonstrate on the other side, but this is the other version if you wanted to do it. All right, you do want your bicep underneath your ears so that your head and neck is supported. All right, so elbows underneath the shoulders. This is me sinking into my shoulder joint. It's not what we want. Lift and lift through the obliques here. Bend the bottom knee. I'm going to start with my leg flexed here, just like I did on the other side. Inhale and exhale. There's a lot to think about. I know mostly we're focusing on this leg, keeping your quadricep engaged, leg nice and straight, but that's when we forget about what's happening up in the upper body. So you just kind of want to think about abs engaged, lifted obliques, strong through the shoulder girdle. Leg is coming to about parallel to the floor. You can see yourself in your screen. Okay, I'm just going to change my foot position so it's no longer flexed to pointed, and I'm making little circles. Very small, slow. You can do 1 breath each circle. And the circle is like the size of a golf ball. 2 more in this direction. I don't really know what to do with this hand. You don't really need it for a kickstand. So reverse for 6, 5, 4. How's that shoulder? Still lifted? Oblique still lifted? Last one here. Keep that leg parallel. You should be able to see your leg. Or feel if your leg is like, you know, making a beeline to the floor like that. Maintaining neutral. So make sure you can see your pinky toe, your kneecap face forward. Really think about your abs here because this is what's preventing your torso from moving. Your leg will move within the hip socket, but there's no movement waist and above or pelvis and above. Yeah, I know, I'm starting to feel in the shoulder too. Last one. All right, good. So here we are, back onto the stomach. We're gonna do our heel squeeze. So you want actually your knees apart like this. Your knees are no longer together. And your heels are together, but your toes are apart. So if you haven't done this before, just keep your head up to watch for a moment. I'm going to exhale and squeeze my heels together, like there's some important document or dollar bill there. And then I'm going to not squeeze. But when I don't squeeze, I don't separate my feet, okay? So keep the heels connected. Squeeze and not squeeze. When you squeeze, don't stick your butt up like this. All right, so keep your hip in contact with the floor. So once you can do that, you can stack your hands and place your forehead down. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale to not squeeze. So first, just feel what muscles are engaging as you squeeze. You should feel some hamstrings, maybe some calves even. And then you should feel your butt. And if you don't, what you can do is lift the knees a little bit. So now as I exhale and squeeze, see how I lifted my knees a little bit? You don't have to lift your knees very high to feel this. Exhale, squeeze the heel, lift the knee that almost pushes your hips and like pubic bone down into the floor. And then that's where you really feel the butt. I didn't really talk about how bent your knee is. If you try doing this with your knees mostly straight, it's not really going to work too well. But neither is it if your heel is pulled as close to your butt as possible. So it's kind of in that middle range. But within the middle range, figure out what works for you in terms of, can you feel the knees? Can you feel the heels squeezing together and the butt engaging? All right, let's just do 2 more. All right, good. And then let's just sit back here. I am stretching the spine. We did a little bit of spine work, but that one was mostly glutes. All right, we're gonna do another plank. So this time I'm gonna do it with my wrist. This gives me a little more range of motion into what I can do. But if you want to do it on your elbows, you might not be able to do the exercise since there's no space under your body. So feel free to do it on your elbows and just hold the plank. All right, so here we're on our high plank, the wrists are underneath the shoulders. Again, find that straight line position. I'm going to pull one knee in, and then I'm going to actively round the spine. And I'm going to actively round the spine by drawing the ab up and in to flex it. So imagine neutral spine, knee in, neutral spine, and then crunch. And one way you can think about it is like, I'm using my abs to pull my knees into my chest. Pull my knees into my chest. Come back to neutral, relax, and then find your plank. So pull your knees in first. Now crunch, engage the ab by thinking of, I'm kneeing myself in the chest. Return. Inhale, knee in. Exhale, knee yourself in the chest. Inhale again. Exhale, return the leg. Inhale, knee in. Exhale, knee to chest. Your knee is not actually going to touch your chest. Last time. Inhale. You're still in neutral. Exhale. Crunch. Inhale, return. Good. Come on out of that. Shake it out. I go into teasers. So we'll do several variations of teasers today. I've done so many variations, I don't even know what the real teaser is anymore. So this is considered my basic teaser. You start your legs in tabletop, biceps by the ears. Use as much momentum as you need to get yourself to your tailbone. Inhale, arms, head, shoulder blades. Exhale, kick your legs out, roll up. Again, kick out your leg as much as you need to get to your tailbone. Inhale here, exhale, extend the leg so that you can counterbalance the roll down of your torso. Work the abs on the way up and on the way down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, balance. Exhale, return to your base position slowly within control. Inhale, exhale, extend. Keep your legs straight if you want. Inhale here. And if your legs are still straight, then all you gotta do is roll down. Feel free to continue doing that version. I'm going to show you a teaser version with your legs starting on the mats. Inhale. Lift the head, shoulder blades. Right here, legs come up, pull up and in. Pull the knees up and in. Now we're going to extend the legs away. I'm going to slowly lower my heels to the ground as I slowly lower my shoulder blades to the ground. And I'm back to the start. Inhale. Head, shoulders. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Doing the straight leg version from the ground. Inhale, arms, head, shoulders. Exhale. Inhale. And again, exhale. Doesn't matter how much momentum you use to get yourself up. You got to get yourself up so that you can lower yourself in the, what we call the eccentric phase, which is resisting gravity. Gravity wants to pull you straight down and you resist it. And you build up a lot of strength that way. Let's try this version one more time. Inhale. Exhale. You got to get your shoulder blades off the floor before you get your legs on the floor, in that order. It's important. There's technique, and then there's just brute strength, I guess. All right, I'm gonna just do one more variations of this with you. So once we all get to the top, you can start here. You can start as you go. Once we all get to the top is when we're gonna do the variation. So pick how you wanna get there. Inhale. Exhale. So we're here at the top. We're gonna do our bow and arrow. Bow and arrow. Find the center, inhale, and then exhale, lower. Let's just try that 2 more times. Inhale. Okay, I'll do this version. Inhale, arms, head, shoulders. Exhale, kick out. Whether your knees are straight or bent, bow and arrow, rotates. Bow and arrow. Inhale here. Exhale. All right, one more, any version you like. If you want to skip the bow and arrow and just come straight down, go for it. I hope you're still breathing. Bow and arrow. Bow and arrow. All right, we're gonna do some hip work. You can bend one knee. And we're gonna try to have the other leg as straight as possible. And we're gonna be circling in our hip just to get some range of motion. Press into the floor with your hands. The goal is not to move any part of the body other than the circling leg. Inhale at the top of the circle, exhale at the bottom. Try to keep the leg as straight as you can. As you sweep the leg out from 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock, you should feel work in the quads, hip flexors, and abs. Inhale, here's the release, lowering from 12 to 6. Exhale, 6 to 12 is the work. Release, 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Exhale. One more time in this direction. If you really want to challenge your flexibility, you can have this bottom leg straight. But just be careful your whole body's not rocking like this. There's a little more stability when the leg bends. So let's reverse direction. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Notice I didn't specify how big your circle is. You want to challenge yourself by making the biggest circle you can make, but not having any movement in your body. So you should feel both butt cheeks firmly on the ground. As my leg goes out and away from my midline, I shouldn't feel less weight on the opposite butt cheek. All right? So we're trying to get range of motion in this hip socket without disturbing the pelvis. You can even put your hands on your hip bones here and make sure that your pelvis is not moving. You can feel it. All right, one more time in this direction. All right, so I happen to bend my knees for one direction and I straighten up for the other. So I'm just going to do that again on this side. And if you did that too, then I would do that again. But otherwise, if your knees were bent, keep your other knee bent. If your legs were straight, then keep it straight. Basically, we're aiming for symmetry, even though we're all asymmetrical beings. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Sometimes I feel like there's some hip popping and some motion, clicking going on. I don't feel any pain, but definitely pay attention to that. Sometimes it has to do with your joint, and sometimes it has to do with the tendons around those bones. All right, so I'm going to switch direction, and I'm just going to straighten them over here. Inhale at the top, exhale at the bottom. Inhale. Don't be afraid to press into the hands to help stabilize your body. Abs are also engaged. 3 more here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Oh, that was to be great. Okay. All right. I'm just going to turn a little bit this way so you can see what's going to happen. But basically, you're going to circle out like this. Figure out, I'm going to keep the window, but you figure out kind of where you hit down here and come back up. It's not going to be a perfect circle. It's going to be more like capital D's, semicircle, and a spine. All right. All right. So I can't do it facing that way, but the challenge is that both legs at some point are going to be at a low angle. And you recall when your legs are at a low angle, that it's harder to maintain imprint. So decide how low your legs are going to be. Let's go down the spine first. So inhale, go down, straight down, legs are together. And I'm just going to stop around 45 right now. And then exhale, we go out to the side. A little hip stretch, groin stretch here. And I circle back up to vertical. We're making capital D's that are mirror image of each other. Inhale, how low do you want to go? Stay imprinted. Exhale, circle out to each side. Oh, I kicked the curtain. There you go. Inhale. Exhale. So this is a great inner thigh stretch, but you're simultaneously working those abs. You have to use your abs to maintain imprint. You're also working your quads and hip flexors. Your hamstrings get a nice stretch as you bring your legs close to your head. One more in this direction. Inhale on the way down. Exhale on the way up. Now reverse. Make the semicircle first. Go out to the side wide. Connect and squeeze your legs together at the bottom. You define the bottom and then draw straight up. Inhale, circle down. Connect. Exhale, pull straight up. I hear and feel my left hip pop every time. There it goes again. Give me one more. Okay. Ugh. All right, my quads are pretty tired actually. So we're gonna do some push-ups. Yeah, because my quads are tired, which is a nice change of pace from all that back work we're doing. All right, I'm actually gonna do sort of a pyramid thing. I'm gonna start on my knees, kneeling, then I'm gonna go to my knees, and go to my toes, back down to knees, and then back to kneeling. Okay, so you can go all the way to your toes with me or stay at the knees, any version you want, really. So if you do 3 of each one, that'll be 15. 3 times 5. Okay, so wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. We do Pilates push-ups or like tricep push-ups. So keep the elbows tight to the body. Try to keep the spine neutral. Aim the forehead towards the floor, just ahead of the fingertips. Inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. This is the third one. Inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. To transition to the next progression, I walk my hands one hand length forward, roughly, and then I'm going to shift my shoulders. Actually, that wasn't that cool. So I'm going to shift my shoulders so they're over my wrists. See that? My arms are vertical, and then my butt kind of disappears. I'm still bracing my abs, and I'm going to inhale on the way down, body in a straight line, exhale on the way up. Inhale. 3 of these, one more. You don't need to take your chest all the way to the floor. From here, we're going to do 3 on our toes, but again, feel free to stay on your knees. My wrists are going to stay underneath my shoulders. All I'm going to do is pop off my knees. My arms are still vertical to start. Inhale on the way down. Exhale up. 2 more. Inhale. There's your full plank. Exhale. Keep those elbows nice and tight. Inhale. Exhale. Squeeze your abs. Drop to your knees. Inhale. Exhale. Push up. 2 more. Last one. And you're going to walk your hands back. Just find that your butt is over your knees again. Get your wrist underneath the shoulders again. In your quadruped. Last 3. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. And this is our 15th push-up. All right. I'd like you to have a seat. We did a lot of quad work. So I just want to do a quick stretch today. So I have a straight line from your shoulders, hips, and knees, and I'm just pulling that foot so the heel is really close to the same butt cheek. If you don't feel the stretch, just keep pulling it straight behind you. Don't pull it up and take it to the side of your body. Pull it straight back. Okay. You can just turn around and face the other side, face the wall. Or turn your back to me. I'm just gonna flip around. We're not working out anymore, so you can just sink into your shoulders. Who cares? Okie dokie. And hopefully we've got enough hamstring stretch today. Thank you very, very much for joining me. I'm just gonna crawl my way over here. Oh, that was tough. How are we doing?